So if you have any questions, you can ask me as we are moving forward. I want everyone to be in the same. We should be in the same line. Oh no, my network is a bit tripping. So now, this is how I took this. I think I got the daily. I got it from the daily time frame, which was this. You can see from here, from the daily time frame, we had something like this. We had we had something like this. We had a resistance zone which got broken and turned into a support. So the code is an RBS, a resistance that breaks support, a resistance that got broken and turned into a support. So, people who trade SMC, who trade smart money concepts, they call it a breaker block entry. So here is a breaker block. Here's a breaker block entry, but here we call it an RBS, a resistance that turned into a support that breaks support. So it's simple, very, very simple. Here we had this A-shaped key level. This A-shaped key level failed because we expected price to come tap in this A-shaped key level. Yeah. If you look closely, we expected price to come to this A-shaped key level, tap here and sell to the downside. But what happened? Price simply broke this key level to the upside. You can see price broke this key level to the upside. So it's no longer valid. Like a sale is no longer valid here. But what happens? We expect price to come back down to the same zone, tap here, and we have a buy. So if you turn on your line chart, see price never came back here. Price came back. I think price came back with this. It broke with this candlestick. Then it came back with this week. Came back with this week and tested with this week. So this was simply on fresh. Yeah, this was simply on fresh. This zone was on fresh. I think I told you guys fresh and on fresh key level. So we are still going to go through that today again. So this was simply on fresh, but once it's on fresh, you can still take your trade depending on if you find the kind of confirmation you need. So this was what I saw on this trade simply, and I had to go to lower time frame. Like, let me see if it was the 4 hours. The 4 hours, I think this was my key zone, my key level. You can refine it. You can refine it more to this key level here, to this zone, this key level. You can refine it to this key level here if you wish. But I think I stick to this one. Yeah, price came tapped here. So now, as I explained last time, you want to find your break of structure. There's one type of break of structure we want to look out for. We don't have two types of break of structure. We have one type of break of structure, which is where was the last zone before price touched this point. Yeah. So we've seen price touch here with the wick at this point here, so we can mark it out with this. Let's put a line here. This was where price first touch. Price touch here. So if we turn on our line chart, let's not be confused. Let's not be confused. So what happened here? Before price touched this zone at this point, exactly at this line, what happened? There was this zone here. You get this was our resistance zone before price touched this point. So we expect this zone to be broken. This one, not this one. This one is already an external internal break of structure. This one is an external break of structure. So we expect a break of structure of this zone. Price broke structure and we expect a pullback before entry. So what happened? If you turn on your line chart, what happened? Price breaks to the upside. So simply, someone could simply enter with this pullback that price came here. You will enter, but I missed that entry. There was an entry because after price broke structure to the upside, what happened? There was a pullback, and this candle was you could use this one as liquidity. I hope I'm making sense. You could use one here as liquidity, and what happened? Price came back now. Now, where did price came back before buying? We have, if you turn on your line chart, you're going to see we had the QMR zone. Here was our QMR zone at this point here. That was our QMR zone. If you turn on your line chart, you see price came back. I don't think price touched it. I don't think price touched it, but okay, price touched it. So you saw what happened. Price sweep liquidity came to this QMR. This was, we are going to learn entries, and you're going to understand why there are particular zones you want to wait for as your entry to look like I saw some questions the other time. Someone was asking like, what are the type of entries we have? We have something like the QMR, or price break, structures to the upside, and price return, yeah, before buying again. So now we have these three zones. This is an apex entry. This one we call it an apex entry. We're going to study that. This is an apex entry. So we expect price to come to this apex. This apex, we don't have any confirmation on this apex. We just set what you set your buy limit here. Okay, to set your buy limits here. Whenever price have broken structure already, you can set your buy limits at this apex where price can come. But with a smaller lot size, and you set your stop loss just below in case it doesn't work out well, price continue going back down, it should hit your stop loss and you should be safe. Get so you shouldn't blow your account. But now again, what happens? If price came to this point, hold on a second. Excuse me. All right. I'm back. All right. So it's simple. We have this apex entry where you can set your buy limit and all those things. Then we have this QM. Here's your first. We have 3 points we expect price to come. We have a QM at this point. We have a QM here where price can easily come back to this QM. And we have this one here. We have this one here where price can also come there. And there will be an open close here. There's always an open close candle here. So we have these 3 points where we always expect price to come. These 4 points. Here we have you just set your buy limits and wait here, or you wait for price to come to this one, see your buy set up. If it's clear on the lower time from like 5 minutes, you can scale it down to the 5 minutes or 15 minutes to see your to confirm any of the entries at this point here. With stuff like engulfing candles and all those things for entry. So this is your entry model. So let's continue here. So as I said, you had your first buy here. You see, if you took this buy here, you have no drawdown. You have simply zero drawdown. And I think we could refine it. Let's see if we could refine it on the 1 hour time frame. Refine it on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. Where it's from? It's from this QMR here. All right. It was clean. Let's clean. Yeah, you could still refine it with this guy. Yeah, to this one. You see enter here. You see your stop loss will be slightly below, so you have a very, very tiny stop loss. That's to your own advantage. You have a very tiny stop loss. So here could be our first entry model. Let's see if it was in accordance with our trend line. I will also I think I showed you guys the type of trend line we used. I don't know, but I'll see. We're going to work on the type of trend line. So I think let's try this one. Oh, this was not good enough. Then it should be this one. From here, stop, and here. So we have one touch, two touch, and a break. One, two, and a break. So that's all what you need. First touch, second touch, and a break. And those touches should have engulfing to your own advantage here. You can use this one as an engulfing. These two candles engulf this one. Are you seeing these two candles engulf this one? That's one engulfing, and this one also engulf this one. So we have two engulfing to our advantage. So what happened? Price match with our trend line, matching our entry point. So this was a good entry where you could actually take a trade from here. It was good. And second entry, Just on Telegram. All right. So the next entry, this was one I took here. So let's not get confused. Don't be confused with anything you see here. So now we have this break of structure to the upside. Price broke to the upside. Let me take this guy off. This one. Right. So we have this our break of structure here to the upside. Price went up. And I think I had this entry on the 1 hour time frame. I had to find the 1 hour. And what happened on the 1 hour? I had this the same thing, an RBS, a resistance zone that turned into a support zone. Simple price break here with this massive candlestick, and I had this liquidity form, and I expect price to come back tap here and be at the buy. So you see your stop loss just 30 pips. I always set my stop loss 30 pips below. So if you turn on your line chart, you're going to see a QM. I told you that three places where the price always come. There should be an open close here. Let's see on the chart. Okay, this could be our open close here where we expected price also come and we expect price also come to this one. And this was the apex where you could set your buy limits, but price didn't come there. So simple. But always look for the one closer to liquidity. It's going to save you a lot. Always look for the one closer to liquidity. So we had this one was closer to liquidity. That's why actually marked out this one. And I think my in match with my trend line, I had my first touch, second touch, and a break. So I expected to touch the third time here and buy off to the upside. I think this was my engulfing. Yeah, I don't think this was an engulfing, but it was still valid. Price came match with my entry point. Price came tap on the trend line and I had my entry. So now always target these roadblocks. That's your target. I think I explained roadblocks last class. This was our first roadblock where we were expecting I just want to take my TP at these roadblocks. I don't have anything to do with it. So the more we are going to go into alchemist, you see alchemist also you need to trade with time and how do they call these time zones, London, Q zones, all the stuff you need to understand it. But if you wish actually, because those are most of the times where we have all these massive moves we get. So if you have something like this here, I think there's a New York, there's a London. I don't know which one is actually fast. I haven't really taken time to learn those things. But with time, I think I'm going to be good with it. So I think there's a certain period, I think Asian session or London session, we have something like price always moves slowly in one. Then after that, I think from 2 p.m. price start moving. I think when the London session opens, price moves in a massive way. I think you also need to use that if you're trading the Alchemist strategy. So I think for our class, I don't know where we ended last time. I guess it should be. We did all of this. I don't know who can unmute him. He or herself and explain where we ended last time, please. Or you can type in the chat box. I don't actually know where we ended last time. Who know where we ended last time? Hmm. You guys are serious, eh? Nobody. I think we did storyline. We did storyline. SNR fresh and unfresh. SNR fresh and unfresh key levels. I think we also did storyline. That's class. SNR touch. Foundation. Mm. think when I have time, we are going to trade together. We're going to have a session, live session together. We're going to take trades together. But I hope everyone is aware I don't share signals. I don't share signals with anybody. I can send you setups. I can send setup um what I think about the market. I can send it to the group chat. But signals like buy at this point, sell at this point. I'm not doing that one because I'm not giving anybody financial advice. It's very, very risky because once it doesn't it won't go the way you want it to go. I'm going to be blamed for it. So I always avoid it. Let's see. Gold USD. Think gold has been buying. Gold is actually buying. All right. I think I showed you guys something like this last time. I marked this zone. And what happened? Price actually bought for me. I marked this zone last time and price actually bought for, I think it was the last class. I think it should be the last class on this 1 hour time frame. Here was a key level. A V-shaped key level. Yeah, here was a V-shaped key level. I had this liquidity, this has liquidity close to it. Yeah, this has liquidity close to it. So what happened? Price came tap there. If you could set your buy limits here, you could catch your trade. A very, very nice trade if you set your buy limits at this point. So here was liquidity, here was your A-shaped key level. See, turn on your line chart, you're going to see this your A-shaped key level. Price actually came tapped and went to the upside. Let's see. And you could also confirm it using your confirmations to look for an entry on the lower time frame, like 15 minutes to 5 minutes. Look for your confirmation entries at this point to buy, catch the buy. Yeah, price was supposed to reverse at this point, but what happened? This was a roadblock price break to the upside. So it actually didn't work. And gold is buying massively, it's buying massively. See, I think I had something on Euro USD. I had something on Euro USD. I was showing someone yesterday. All right, this is what I had on Euro USD. I think this was my bias on Euro USD. I expected Euro USD to actually sell. And what happened? Yes, we have it on the daily time frame. This is on the daily time frame here. What do we have? We have this key level, this A-shaped key level. What happened? This is an A-shaped key level. And this is a QM key level. So what happened? Price actually came to this A-shaped key level react because it's a fresh key level. You can see it's a fresh key level. It hasn't been tested. So price came tested. I think we went one step lower, which was on 4 hour time frame. And what happened? Turn on your line chart. Price tap here. I expected this low to be broken before I find my trade setup. So price haven't broken this low yet. We get so everything is doing here. I don't have nothing to do with it. I have not absolutely nothing to do with this. See, I have nothing to do with this. I want price to break this guy first. I want price to break this guy first. Once this guy has been broken, what do I expect? A little pullback and I'll look for my entry somewhere around here. From the 4 hour time from here, 4 hour time from 1 hour time from I look for my sell and setup. Now I start catching other sell setups to reach this roadblock here. So if price haven't broken here, no trade, I have no trade. If price break here, I'll look for something like this. I'll look for something like this. Yeah, I'll look for something like this. If price break this one, something like that. Then if price comes and break this one, yeah, I'll look for something like this. So that's how I always look for my trading buyers. I don't get, I don't fall into any trap. So yeah, what happened here? Daily time frame. So what happened here? What happened here? Let's see. I think I took a trade here. A-shaped key level. What happened? Price came tapped, and I think I took the trade. I think it was in 4 hours. 4 hour. Okay, we had this A-shaped key level. Is an A-shaped key level. Price came, reacted to our A-shaped key level, and I think you have to go lower, one time frame lower. I think this was it, one time frame lower for your break of structure. Yeah, break of structure and wanted a pullback. So as I told you guys, there are these are the zones where price will actually react from. We have this zone here, this one, and this QMR. So these are the zones where price actually react from. This is QMR here. So you should always be waiting for price at these zones. You should actually waiting for price at these zones. Let's see what happened. Price came to this other one here, tapped there and reacted. Depending on the way it broke structure, we had to sell to the downside. And I think if price is coming back here, let me see. I don't really see where price is coming. So it's okay. This is a roadblock here. You've already made your money. If you have any question, you can ask me, please. If you have any question, you can ask me, please. Today, we're not going to really do a lot because we have so many newcomers. We have so many
Bro,
newcomers.
bro,
And I need to have a
quest,
chat with all of them.
bro, quick question, yeah?
Yeah, what's the question?
Yeah, yeah. Let's say I'm seeing a A level on the 4 hours, and then I see one on the 1 hour.
Mhm.
I'm a bit confused as to which one I should actually use.
If you see a key level on the 4 hours and you see a key level on the 1 hour,
Right, A shape or V shape.
A shape or V
Bit
shape.
right. I know. When I see it, I'll see it on the 4 hours and then see one on the 1 hour. Which one is what? I don't know which one I should take, to be honest.
Always, always go on the one on the higher time frame. Always take the one on the 4 hours. It's more preferable. Check out the one on the 4 hours and still take note of the one also on the 1 hour. So your eyes just need to be on
Right.
everything, but basically your main focus should be on the higher time frame. You get.
Okay.
And to make it more easier, even if you're more confused most of the time, if you want to look for your key levels and all those things, you should come and you should see something like a break of structure and a sweep, all those things. There are so many few things you should look out for if you want to see, if you want to find your 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 key levels on a higher time frame or weekly. You get a weekly time frame. I think there are people who go on the weekly time frame. For example, let's see, USD CHF, USD CHF, no trade here. They may go on a weekly time frame and they want to see a break of structure to the upside or a break of structure to the downside. Let me see, I don't see anything here. They want to see a break of structure to the upside or a break of structure to the downside before they can confirm their entries. So they can know their direction using those break of structure stuff. Um, let's see. SJPY, 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 SJPY. All right, let's see. But then it's like my line chart. I think this is an example. But I don't use it that much. Let's use this one. I can see here's a sweep from this week, sweep to the downside, and we have a break of structure here. The break of structure. So now, after the break of structure, what happened? They start looking for any key level around here. They start looking for a retracement to that key level and they look for a buy. Wait for a retracement and look for a buy. So there are so many ways people always trade their key levels. But me, I just want to go. For me, I just make mine very very easy. I just want to go on the high. Like say, if I don't want to use a weekly, I'll use a daily. I just want to come and I see where price. I want to actually see where price is trending. See, I want to actually see where price is trending, and it's going to give me a more detailed understanding of what is happening. And see where price is trending on, let's say, the weekly or daily time frame. Weekly or daily time frame, and see where price is going to. And you can also see from these candlesticks, you can see if we have if we have massive long wick candlesticks down to the downside, it means our direction is bearish. You can see here we have massive long wicks to the upside, telling us our direction is bullish. Example here, bearish, bullish. So you can also check things like that on the weekly time frame. If we're going to a lower time frame now, you look for those key levels, those key points. But now for you to confirm those key levels, I told you always start from a storyline. It's going to help you so much. Always use a storyline. What about volatility that doesn't have a weekly time frame? Volatility have a weekly time frame, but on not on but on the MT MetaTrader 5 application, yes, it has a weekly time frame and a monthly time frame. But I don't know why they are just selfish on the trading view platform. They don't want to really give us the weekly. But for volatility, I always use it. I always use the daily time frame. I always use the daily time frame because I always want to have my quick trades. I don't want trades that are really going to take a lot of time. You can also use the 4 hour time frame. Anyone you wish to look for your key levels there is good to go. Anyone you want to use as for your key level is good to go. Any time frame you see a key level, you see any, it's good to go. You understand? It's very good to go. For example, here, this is the 4 hour time frame. I can say we turn this on. You're going to see there are so many key levels here. We have this A-shaped key level, A-shaped key level. We have this A-shaped key level. We have this B-shaped key level. We have this other one, this A-shaped key level. We get, let's say this one, price haven't printed yet. So these are points you're expecting price to sell because this this already showing you that there's so much resistance at this level. So price is normally going to sell. So what happened? Price came to this first one. And what are you looking for? You're looking for that reaction. You're looking for that simple reaction, which you are going to find it on one time frame, 1 or 2 time frame lower. Going to find it on 1 or 2 time frame lower. Refining this, you will take it to this upside. If you want to refine it to this high, this A-shaped key level. And what happened is actually on fresh because price came tap into it with a wick. As I explained to you guys, once it has been tapped with a wick, it's on fresh. So it went up. And what happened? We had this candlestick came and make it fresh. So it's actually a fresh key level. You understand? Actually fresh. Why people trade other block, they'll see this an other block here, they're going to mark it and expect price to come tap there and go down. Still valid though. So we had price come tap here, line chart before the tap, where was a break of structure here. Price broke to the downside. Now you start looking for your entries anywhere around here. You can still take this pullback of this candlestick as your entry. Okay, you can take this pullback of this candlestick as your entry, depending on you, depending on your trading style. 1, 2. Here you go, 1 time frame lower. Let me just mark this here, and I'll go refine it on the lower time frame. I want this guy should be up here. All right, you see, this was our pullback here. Price tap here, and we had to sell to the downside. Let's check on the 15-minute time frame. Fine. What I see now. Think break of structure, price return to it, and we had to sell. Shouldn't be there, even should be down, a little bit down. Yeah, you could take your trade somewhere around here to the downside. Back to the 4 hours. When you get to a point when you find so many key levels, how do you know the exact key level that price will react to? So for example, can you do you have any example, any chart example you can tell me? So let's look it out. Any chart example you can tell me so we check it out together. VIX 75S, VIX 75S. I don't know. I haven't opened VIX 75 yet. But let's see if we have it on any currency pair. Let's check gold. So many key levels, so many key levels, so many key levels. Which one to you actually use? So now, if it's very very easy, guys. It's so easy, very very easy. For example, it's very easy. You came to a chart like this. You came to the chart like this, and let's say we had something like we had A-shaped key level, A-shaped key level, A-shaped key level, A-shaped key level. So we're expecting which one do we expect price to actually come to and mark out all the key levels which you're suspecting. Especially if you're on the higher time frame, it's going to work well. Yet if you're on the higher time frame, let's say 4 hours or 4 hour or daily time frame, it's going to work very well. What are you expecting? Expecting price to come into any of the zone. If price comes to any of the zone like this, taps here and break. That means that's not the one you want to use. You break this one, it's not the one you want to use. You break this one, that's the one you want to use. It breaks everything and continue going up. That means you had no trade. You avoided the loss. You understand? But what happened if price came to this one, tap here, and started giving us, let's say, a weak retracement, and it went to the lower time frame down, and it spotted something like a break of structure to the downside, and you already have your trade for me. So 90% of the time, as I told you guys, Malaysian SNR combined with SMC will give you a 90% win rate. To be very honest, give you a 90% win rate because it has very tight stop losses. And this one, you already have your confirmation. You understand? You already have your confirmation, and you tap here, it's going to sell down to the downside. And you're good to go. Because you just look for your roadblocks. You have this one here. If you don't have this reaction here, you're going to have it here, you're going to have it here, you're going to have it here. That's when you look for your entry. So I'm not telling you guys to come to like on a daily time frame or on a higher time frame. You just see price come to any key level, you start selling from there. No, look for your storyline. Look for your storyline. It's very important. For me, I always want to see those confirmations before I take my trade. Before I take any entry. It's more safer for me. Far more safe for me. You understand? For example, here we had a key level here, a very, very sweet A-shaped key level. Turn on your line chart, you're going to see A-shaped key level here. Here was it. I marked it out as a roadblock. Was expecting price to come right to this point. So what happened? Price came here, actually tap went to upside. So we could see there was a little bit of, I think, no, it didn't touch. It didn't actually touch. But let's check this on the 1 hour time frame. If there was any retracement, see price didn't even touch here because I expected it as a minor retracement. So price came. Tap. So why will you just come this a key level? Why will you just see that price came to this key level and you just start selling at this point without having your confirmation to the downside? It's very, very wrong. It's so wrong. It's very, very wrong. And I will show you guys again. Um, I'll show you guys again now for the confirmation entry on the lower time frame. It's something similar, right? It's something actually similar, but let me show you guys. Give me a second. Let me show you guys the kind of stuff I actually look out for sometimes. Yeah. You keep on asking your questions. If you have any questions, you can ask. So for the guys who the newbies who are just new to the group, we're going to have a session tomorrow, just us, and it's going to be recorded and sent again to the chat. So I'll send you guys the Zoom link tomorrow. You're going to message me, so I'll have you guys contact again above. So you guys will message me, and I'll send you guys everyone the every newbie. I'll send the Zoom link. We're going to start everything afresh. If you have any question, let me know. We don't actually have a lot to cover. We just have too much assignments that no one is doing it. How about the open close level? How is it confirmed on the screenshot that I recently made from one of our classes, which I need to see the baseline on the hard time frame for this confusing. Yeah, open close, you need to see. So I think I tell you on the open close, you also have something like an RBS or a SBR. You understand? You have something like this on a lower time frame. Let's say if you say bullish open close like this one here, it's a bullish open close. On a lower time frame inside here, you're going to see something like this. I think it comes down again the third time for going up. So for me on the open close, I also look for the same thing. I don't just want to complicate anything. You understand? I don't just want to make my life difficult. I just look for the same stuff, my storyline. I just look for my storyline. I don't just want to complicate it. Let's see. Um, it's a lot about this trend line. It's a lot we have to understand. That was a good question, Stella. I think we haven't done all this trend line stuff, so I'm going to do that next class. Yeah, our type of confirmation entries, the type of confirmation entries you're going to see. There are so many, there are actually so many confirmation entries. I'll show you guys all London close. And I'll show you guys how to use sessions too. In higher time frame gap, SNR and lower time frame. Lower time frame. Basically, I just want to see on if I see my gap I just want to see my a reaction to it. If I because these gaps, let me tell you something. Or this was trying to explain. There's always a hidden engulfing inside each of these gap scenarios. You understand? Inside any gap scenarios. So let me tell you something. To be very honest, all these gap stuffs, I mostly find them on the higher time frame. Let's say the weekly time frame. That's where I actually see it working like very, very well. You understand? Let's look for an example that work out well. Gap SNR, gap SNR, gap SNR. Let's check GBP, USD, Honda. Okay, this was also, I think I had this too last week. I sent this last week. This was in a weekly time frame. We have this. This was V-shaped key level. Turn on your line chart. It's easy to spot V-shaped key level. What happened? Price came there, tapped, and you start looking for those rejections on the lower time frame. There was a break, and price came, and actually you have your buy entry, your first roadblock for your TP. So we're looking for Gap SNRs, gap SNRs that work. You won't see a lot of it, but they actually exist. I think this should be one. No, let me see more clearer one. But you hardly see me taking trades on from a gap SNR because I did almost go on the chart and I look for it. I just go on the chart and look for my V shape and A shapes. You hardly see me. Okay, I think I found one. We have it here. Gap SNR. All right, Stella. Here we have a gap SNR that actually worked. Gap SNR. What happened? If I go to lower time, I don't think TradingView will allow me to come right to this. But we have this gap SNR. What happened? This was liquidity. You see now. So with the gap SNRs, I always have gap SNRs as confirmations. I always look for it on a lower time frame for confirmations for my entry. I also look for it as confirmation of entry. So this one here, how we know this gap SNR is going to hold? We have liquidity here. You see, we have liquidity here. So someone who is setting limits will set his limits and buy from there. But me, no, I always wait for. I think I'll enter on this third candle. I will enter on this third candle because I will wait for that rejection, break, and all these things on the lower time frame. Let's check it out. Let me see and pin this stuff here. Okay, time frame. All right. You see, refining. If you refine it to a lower time frame, look at on a lower time frame, look, this what we had. This was the pattern I showed you now. You have a pattern like this. One, two, three. You have this pattern. So look at it's actually reacting from this V-shaped key level. By the V-shaped key level, they can refine it now from here very, very well. You can take it from here, bring it down again to this other V-shaped key level. You see now, this will be an exact refinement entry after refining from this one to this one. Okay, because price have already tapped from there. That's where you want to look for your entries. So now, before price tapped here, let's take out this guy. Before price tapped here, we want to see the break. We want to see this resistance on that caused the break. And I think this gap SNR here is going to be our resistance zone on that 4 hours. 4 hour. See, see, very, very precise. Where is price actually reacting from? Look, this A shape here. So what happened? Price came. This is our liquidity, and you always want to refine it, my dear friends. Look at here was our touch. So if you mark this guy here, here was where price touch actually. You see, so if let's say we had this gap SNR on the how we say on the weekly time frame, right? We had this gap SNR on the weekly time frame. And now you are not just going to take that trade on that weekly time frame. You need to go to a lower time frame, and that's where you're going to look for your refinement. Okay, that's where you're going to look for your refinements. So what happened? This way we had our touch at our key level. What happened here? Turn on your line chart, you're going to see. Here's where we expect to see our break of structure to the upside. And we have it clean. Break of structure to the upside. And what happened? Turn on candlestick chart back. And so many people don't know this confirmation. You get so many people don't know this confirmation when you're looking for your and your entry and all these things to look for your directional bias. So many people don't actually know it. So now we have this break of structure. Now, how do you enter? You want to now, you can see, let's go back to daytime frame and see if we have anything. Nothing. I mean, we have to stick with 4 hours. This guy. All right. We have QMR, and we know there should be an open close here. There should be an open close here. This is your apex entry, where you can set your buy limits and all those things. Then here we have our QMR entry. So turn on your candlestick chart. I said there should be an open close somewhere around here. Any open close somewhere around inside the zone. You get. So now we could not use this QMR here because price really came and tapped here. You could wait if you want your drawdown to be very big. You can set your stop loss here. Your drawdown is going to be very, very large. You understand? Your drawdown is going to be very, very so big. So big. But now this is where you start looking now for your trend line confirmation. I think we had this one. I'll use this one. Let's see. Should be the only recent one. Should be the recent one. Let's see if it works. Didn't actually take a trade like this. I'm not sure this one will. Let's see, match with this zone here. I think price actually reacted from this QM, this head and shoulder. You can call it QM, you can call it head and shoulder. I think price actually took off from this head and shoulder. If you're using confirmation and all those things. Let's see this guy. If you say you tap here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That time, break, that time. Yeah, this is what I was actually looking for. This guy is one. This is what I really wanted. This one. This guy here. If I was to take this trade, this one will enter, and I will also take this one again. This one has liquidity. But there's going to be weeks here, liquidity, and I'll enter with this open close. You see, let's check again. That's how you use the weekly time frame. If you're using your open close candles, you want to look for your confirmation on the lower time frame. It's very, very essential. Confirmation on lower time frame. It's very, very nice. Open close. Oh, this is not open close. Yes, just simply we have A-shaped key level that turn into a V-shaped key level here on a weekly time frame. You get. So you have something price come tap is rejecting lower time frame for confirmations. It's very, very easy. If you have any other question, you can ask me, please. You can ask me. See where is price coming to? This. Nobody key level here. It should be a key level where I expect price to come and give a turning point from here. This one. This one too. This one too. These are zones I'm expecting price to come and turn around on this weekly time frame. Yeah, this one too is just a very valid turning point. So it's a valid turning point. So now what do you expect? You expect price to come to any of this zone and you want to see a reversal sign as I told you guys. So if the open close has been tested once, can I still consider it as valid? For open close like they are really they are they are really standing on business when it comes to fresh and unfresh. They really stand on business. You understand? They really stand on business. When I think it touch just once. They don't play around. Touch once and they are gone. They are gone. So always avoid the ones that are unfresh. Avoid the ones that are unfresh for open close. Avoid the ones that are unfresh for open close. For me, I always avoid. But as I said, I don't mostly take trades. I don't mostly use open close. I use open close just for entries. I use my open close just for entries. While I use my A shape and V shape levels for my setups and bias and all those stuff. Any other question? If no question again, then think we call it out for today. Any question, any question, any question. So tomorrow we'll have class with the newbies. We could not really study anything today because there are so many new people in the channel right now. So tomorrow we're going to work with the newbies, and after tomorrow we're going to have a full live session. Any question, any question? Right. If there's no question, then we can call it off today. Questions? All right, no questions. So please send your setups. Send your setup. Before sending any setup to the group, check your higher time frame for your key levels. Mark out your key levels, and yeah, mark up your key levels, and you mark out your break of structure to the downside on one time from lower or two time from lower. You mark it out. And when I see it is going, it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If it's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. So let's just keep trying our best. Have a nice time, everyone. If you have any question, you can ask in the question section. I'll be ready to answer all your questions.